Hi, happy Pride! It's the last day of June and we made it. It's Pride. We didn't all melt, especially those of us here in Europe. My name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a kitty cat. I am a Latina woman of color. I have tan skin, dark eyes, dark wavy hair, I'm wearing a v-neck white top, and I've tried to attach cutout cat ears to my headset. You are at Euphoria. Euphoria is an amazing community dedicated to uplifting and spotlighting the talent, the diversity, the wonderfulness of the TTRPG community, especially here in Europe. So, hi, welcome everyone. Thanks for lurking. If you're lurking, we're going to play a game. And specifically, we're playing a game that we chose because we wanted to spotlight queer creatives here based in Europe. And when looking at the wonderful options we had, I decided on a nice chill game called Catcrawl. And Catcrawl is a lovely game by Plotbunny Games. I will also highlight that this game was donated by Plotbunny Games entirely, so thank you very much for that. It Game design and writing is by Jasmin Neitzel and Andrea Rick, and all the illustrations are by Andrea Rick. Catcrawl is a multiplayer, I believe 2 to 4 players or solo player game where the premise is rather simple. You are a cat. You're a cat and you're in a brand new place. And you're going to spend some cozy time exploring. And I'm going to do that today for about an hour, hour and a half, and just have a nice little time here. For those of you watching live in chat, I added something a little more interactive this time. So if you go into the chat rewards, you have the option of spending some chat points to, I believe, hear a meow. Yep. You have the option to pay a lot more and have me meow. I don't give that for free. But if you spend a lot more chat points, I happen to have the Exploding Kittens card game, which I'm very fond of, and I bought an expansion a million years ago. And it came with a cone of shame. Cone of shame. So if you spend a lot more chat points, I will briefly don the cone of shame. Pardon me. And without further ado, I'm going to play for about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. I probably won't stretch it more than 2 hours of Catcrawl. Because this is a solo driven game, I'm not planning to have anything spicy in there. There are no particular content warnings. I am not going to bring my cat into harm beyond cartoon level shenanigans. Anything that might potentially harm a cat in a closed modern apartment or house living quarters will be dealt with cartoonishly. Other than that, I really can't think of anything that would cause concern at the forefront. If there are after the fact, I will amend them for the VOD so anyone can have informed consent because your safety as an audience matters. And so does my safety as a player. And I'm here to have a chilled, relax time. Jasmin is in the chat. Thank you for playing this game for Pride. Andrea did the map. We as a community to draw cats for us. So indeed, the PDF, which is very nicely laid out, very linear, very direct. I love like direct, like clear instructions. Includes all sorts of lovely community fan arts, like scribbles, sketches of the Plotbunny communities. Really adorable, I assume, kitty cats. So they're all essentially playing out with us as well. I'm sharing my screen because Plotbunny Games also provides a particular map that can be uploaded to playingcards.io, which I am using. And it's a fantastic tool if you want your game specifically to be played electronically or even streamed. Very good tool. And I'm going to get into it and introduce parts of the game. I have read through the PDF, but more or less I am playing this as a first playthrough. I did not have a solo play test by myself. I kind of wanted to have that experience here with you, audience. Thank you, Andrea from Plotbunny Games is also here. Whole families drew cats, and they love them all. I love them all too. I will say from the get-go, I if I had to pick, I am a dog person, but I'm fond of any wonderful little creature that feels comfortable and safe around humans and lets me like pet them and like play with them. I love all animals. If they like me, I like them. The end. Reptiles, other multi-legged creatures that are meant as pets. I like them. I like them very much. So let's play Let's play Catcrawl by Plotbunny, and I'm going to read the introduction here. You're a cat who has recently arrived in its new home. Your new humans seem to be nice and have always been kind to you so far. Now you're alone in your new environment for the first time. You can smell that your humans live here and that there's something for you to eat somewhere. But there are also a lot of strange and new things. You set out to explore your new home. Cats are capricious creatures. Be brave and make decisions when you are the cat, even without discussing them with the other players. I'll be soloing plagues, so I'll be discussing Aida, meet with Aida. The game is about finding together what the cat is going to experience, not about winning or pushing the cat into a specific direction, because they are cats. Alrighty. So the PDF also includes a direct how to play, all laid out for you, while of course more detailed instructions are listed further along in the PDF in the instructions itself. I love a streamlined, quick and dirty TLDR because if you can like compress however many pages into a flow chart or into a direction, that's really good game design, my personal opinion. I love it. So first, we are going to clarify our desired tone and set up a short setup conversation. So desired tone, I said we're going to take it easy, chill. If anything funky will happen to the cat, it will be cartoonish. That's about it. No harm is coming to our kitty cat. And a setup conversation, which I sort of did. Like I said, we're going to be within the framework of this. I'm going to call it apartment. It seems to be all on one floor for me, so it's all on one floor. Sorry for the sound. That was my cone of shame falling to the ground. I'll pick it up if someone claims that. Stay within the frame you've discussed. So this invites more players who might be playing the game together to give them a structure to discuss options, how to veto if an option is uncomfortable or less fun to someone else. So already explicitly expressed to do that. We like it when games also put safety and communication at the forefront. We like this very much. Cool. All right. We're going to create a cat. We're going to create a cat. I will create a cat. So that I could get into the play a little quicker. I had a cat in mind. A million years ago, little Aida received a kitten from her grandparents. However, my grandparents, I only saw them on summer vacation because they lived in Bolivia and South America while I was raised in the United States. So I only saw my grandparents like a month out of the year. And they gave me a kitten because in South American countries like that, kittens are everywhere, puppies are everywhere. Everyone had everything. So I got a kitten. And I thought of a very convoluted name for the cat that only made sense as an English speaker. And I sort of warped it into Spanish. And my family was like, yeah, that's nice. We'll just call him Pepe. So this is Pepe the cat. Pepe the cat was a boy cat. So Pepe in this case is going to be he, him pronouns. Pepe is Pepe. And Pepe, to my recollection, was a short haired cat. So the fur type is short hair, fur pattern stripes. It was a mackerel tabby cat. A mackerel is sort of gray with black stripes, like the fish. And that's sort of what the cat, to my recollection, looked like. This was, oh my God, am I aging myself? This was over 30 years ago. 35? Wow. All right. So, short haired, striped, gray and black furred cat. Special features. Okay, there's a list of special features we can choose from. Small, huge collar, three-legged, one-eyed, slashed-eared, extra toes, stubby tail, extra long whiskers. Mm, did this? No, I don't think this cat had a particularly special feature. But for the game, I'm going to imagine he had a stubby tail. That makes sense. Because as a single-digit old little Aida, this cat, I saw this cat as my plaything. Little Ida was supervised, and the kitten was supervised by other adults who knew better, and it was like, little Ida, don't be so rough with the cat. This was the kind of cat I would pick up and just like squish. This was the kind of cat I would like use as a pillow in bed. This was the kind of cat I tried to dress up in doll's clothing. This was a kitten, so when it didn't want to do something, it let me know and it got away from me. So I couldn't do much to the cat in the end. And Pepe and I had a bit of a strained relationship. And this was only 1 month out of the year. But apparently, Pepe didn't have that great of a relationship with anyone else except a cousin of mine, an uncle of mine, a cousin of mine, who Pepe adopted as his person. And they were like Velcro, inseparable. And only this cousin, only this uncle, like really got to like hold, squish, do anything to Pepe. And Pepe was just like, whatever, you can do it. Um, we have like pushing Pepe with a broom across the floor kind of thing, but only their person could do this. Pepe didn't want to really know anything about me as I visited over the years and I got older. And Pepe was like, you. And I learned to leave Pepe alone. So Pepe had a bit of a personality. So Pepe, the gray mackerel striped he/him cat with a stubby tail. And the reason I'm saying stubby tail is because cats in this country, in this city, in this setting, were often hybrid outdoor indoor cats, where a lot of dogs were also indoor outdoor, like on the streets. So there was some community cats vying for leadership positions, and all cats and dogs got into scraps. I think Pepe ventured out once and came back and decided not for him. Good for him. But in my fantasy imagination, he came back with the stubby tail. That's it. All right. So, enough about Pepe. That is Pepe. Okay. And now we are going to take Pepe through this apartment. And I mentioned earlier that this is a map that was uploaded to that anyone can upload to playingcards.io if you buy the full digital bundle through itch.io. What's wonderful about this setup, and I really commend Plotbunny Games for doing this, is that it provides you with a movable kitty cat token. So if you look at the bottom left corner, I have placed a short-haired red cat that I'm wobbling here. Look at that in square A6. Look at that. This is so cute. I'm just going to give an obligatory meow. See if this works again. Yeah, it works. All right. So let's put some cat crawl. This red cat marker here that I'm wobbling in the corner is my Pepe. Looks a little different. That's my Pepe. Cool. All right. So we're going to describe the environment per square, describe what the cat is doing, how the cat responds to it, and then move on square by square. So it's very exploratory, and I can decide if I want to make a story out of it based on the cat's perspective. Okay. So it describes the new environment, and and the PDF also includes descriptions of what each square is meant to be. If someone is unfamiliar with these sort of layouts, people's houses look different across the world. Maybe this is a completely different setup to some people. So I'm going to read the description for a 6, a coat rack. So Pepe enters the space that is labeled as the coat rack, which includes a wooden stand with pieces of fabric hanging down from it, rises up like a tree. Sleeves, seams, and scarves dangle within the cat's grasp. 2 pairs of shoes sit on the ground with it. Um, okay, so that's the room we're in, and I'm going to try to put myself in Pepe's paws. In Pepe's paws. All right. The cat describes what it does. The Pepe's person, uncle, cousin, had really stinky feet. So these shoes, these shoes have a scent. They are potent. They have a very strong scent, and I think that despite the new surroundings, there is immediate comfort in knowing, like, oh, my human is here. I recognize those shoes. I recognize that smell, but this is weird and this is new. Okay. Now we're going to go to the prompt list and see what things the cat can do. And there's a list of things, and I actually have some dice because in this sort of game, I kind of just want to see where it takes me. So I believe there were 18 options. I'm just going to roll a d20 and -2. Okay, that's a 15. So I'm going to do option 13. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Roll in something. So the prompt list were their ideas that the cat can do during exploration, randomly on the table. Pepe is going to pull out one of the shoes, an athletic shoe. Its cords are probably out. And Pepe's just going to like step into it, which sort of makes one shoe tilt over to the side and roll in it. I don't know what time of year it is. I haven't lived with a cat long term. I've just visited a lot of cats. So Pepe's shedding. You know what? Pepe is absolutely shedding. And I'm sure things in this house, in this household, are already covered in Pepe's gray fur. Um, we're seasoning it. It's completely filled with hairs at this point. All right. Let's see if the cat will do one more thing. So I can take this action of going into a room and acting as often as I want. I'm just going to roll again because I like that sort of level of randomness. 17 -2. 15. Chase something. Chase something. All right. So Pepe has been rolling around, covering his fur again into these stinky, stinky shoes. Well worn athletic shoes. And as that shoe flopped over from Pepe rolling in it, that lace sort of like bloop. And Pepe is going to like lean down, swat at the lace. The lace end plops over. Hop. Lace over. So that is what Pepe is doing in that room. All right. So we can move on to another square. So the options are if I'm normal, move one square forward, or I have zoomies in the first square in an adjacent room. Has the square been explored before? All right. I have two options to me, to go north or to go west. I don't know, so I'm just going to roll odds north, evens to the right. Odds up, evens right. So I rolled a 3, so I'm going to go to the right. So my cat is going to cross this door and is going to go into the first room here. So you hopefully have seen me move my kitty token into what looks like, at first glance, it looks like a kitchen preparing area. So let's go into the PDF and see what it says there. Also, we absolutely love PDFs that are hyperlinked so you see exactly where things are. You can click instead of just endlessly scrolling up and down. I like this very much. All right. B6 is food storage, and the description is: next to some shelves with lots of exciting containers and scents sits a big white box emitting a hum. Mysterious. All right, some details to include. Slips of paper are attached to the fridge with magnets. A big bag of cat food sits on the shelf. Ooh, something smells good. And there's loose potato bags. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what Pepe is going to do, or rather, I like a bit of randomness in considering what Pepe could do. So I'm going to roll my dice. It's a natural 20, which is nothing in this game. I'm going to -2. So basically, that's the last option. Clean itself. Okay. Pepe has walked into this room. Sees large white square. It hums. It's probably different than the last one. This one's bigger. And that's where the kibble is, also over there. I imagine Pepe pointing, or is looking in that direction. And at the last home, the kibble was not there. The kibble was lower, but the kibble was also like behind some cat-safe lock, I guess. Kibble might be accessible if we jump up. Oh, but oops, I have an itch. Lem. As Pepe takes a hot minute to clean himself, which I will not narrate in further detail. We have a Patreon for that if you want more details. All right, let's see what else Pepe is doing. Okay, I rolled a 14, so I'm just going to go to that option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14. Shed onto something. Shed onto something. I did declare that Pepe is shedding. So Pepe is just going to be shedding. This is a brand new space. So we are going to rub ourselves along the base of the humming white box, the refrigerator. So we're just going to just kind of walk by and... Oh, there's another cupboard here. Yes. Oh, there's some potato sacks here. I'm going to sort of stretch into that. And as we're doing so, a lot of cat hair is going to be shed. This is probably the cleanest the apartment will ever be in this point. It's time to rehair it. We're going to make it really, really special. Cool. All right. Oh, we also probably have zoomies, because it says if you are the first square in an adjacent room, you might have zoomies. The cat can decide if they have zoomies and can bolt from the room. I don't have zoomies yet. Let's say the next room I go into, I'll roll whether Pepe has zoomies or not. Cool. All right, let's go into a fresh square then. Can I go diagonal? I want to go diagonal. Oh, you know what? Because there's a bowl here with food. What's that? What's that? What's that? Nom 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 nom. I believe that looks like food bowls for Peppers. So that will be square C5. The food station. 2 metal bowls with dry food and water sit on a corrugated plastic mat. Some details to consider. A piece of lint swims in the water. I heard about some other cats that have like this constantly refreshing reservoir. I think Pepe's human needs to get that. This food smells like fish. Pepe probably doesn't get fish too often. This is a special occasion. My human must want something from me. Maybe they won't take me to the vet. We don't like that, but we like fish. Which will we remember last? The vet trip or the fish? Fish is nice. The mat is turned at a corner. Yeah, Pepe totally did that. All right. Let's see what Pepe does here. I like rolling for it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Crawl or jump into something. Okay. Pepe sort of looks at the metal food bowls and sort of focuses, fixates on that piece of lint in the water. It's moving. Maybe a nearby window is open, causing a bit of a breeze. And we have to attack this lint. We've attacked the lint, and 3 of Pepe's feet are now in the water, whereas most of the water is now on the floor. The lint has been vanquished. So has the water. The water has been displaced. Pepe's feet are wet. This is displeasing. What does Pepe do? Roll. 50. Roll into something. Roll in something. All right. We need to roll in something because Pepe's feet are wet. We don't like this. It's a sacrifice we didn't consider when we were attacking the lint in the water bowl. Is there something to roll around here? That mat is kind of wet. It was dry before, so maybe if we go on it, it'll be dry now. That's totally cat logic, right? Maybe Pepe doesn't have his turn with the brain cell yet. So we are going to like desperately roll around, probably making a further mess in this space. By this point, Pepe's like sides are probably damp, so they would be like these wet, matted spots along Pepe's sides where you try to roll and disperse more of the water, but making more of a mess. Because that's a cat. This may solidify my own decision to not have a cat in personal life and just visit people's cats at their own respective homes. All right, let's move to a square. I don't know what square to move to. I have squares. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to roll d6. And Plotbunny Games comments, I have made up a spontaneous rolling dice mechanic for my playthrough. Yes, because sometimes I just like to be guided. And since I'm playing by myself, I don't have other players that like make that decision for me or collaboratively. So the dice is my partners in that sort of way. I should have assigned numbers before I rolled. North 1, 2, south 3, 4. North 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's do it like that. 1. So I'm going to go north. And because this is a brand new room, I can decide to have the zoomies. And because cat is wet, we're going to have zoomies. And it's a brand new room. Pepe is wet. This feels overstimulating. So we're going to bolt. We're just going to bolt into the new room. And we're going to move into the first square of an adjacent rooms. Nyum. So Pepe has dashed from square C4 to square D2 up here. And from my point of view, this looks like a bedroom. So let's see what it is according to the PDF, or what the description rather says. Okay, D2. D2 is a nightstand, the square specifically we're at. A small wooden case with a lamp and alarm clock on top. It has a low open shelf underneath. What's it called? I have from IKEA, a Hemnes. I got one of those. Details. The lamp has a big button. A phone charger cable is plugged into the wall outlet. We've seen those. A pack of tissues sits in the bottom compartment. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what happens. And there is also a list of possible consequences due to actions that I'm doing. So I can also take from that inspiration rather than dictate my own consequences. Okay, acting as cat. I rolled an 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Crawl under something. Crawl under something. Okay. Pepe is going to try to crawl underneath this nightstand, because we established it had a low shelf on the bottom. Sorry, an open low shelf. So I assume there's going to be a space underneath it. Might be just enough for Pepe to get under, because Pepe has been wet. Pepe's zoomed through the last room. We didn't explore that at all. But here is safe. This is quiet. There's dryer here, so that's nice. Let's see what the possible consequences are. Light turns on, alarm clock makes sudden noise, something drops to the floor, a pack of tissues rustles. I'm going to say the light turns on. I've in the past had those lamps that you sort of touch the base and they turn on. I'm going to say that the table rustled just enough. And sure, this is how this works. The cat has some static electricity on it, and the lamp just poof, goes on. Does Pepe notice? Does Pepe care? Odds, Pepe cares. Even Pepe doesn't care. Odds, 3, Pepe cares. Light goes on. What's happening? How would Pepe feel about that? I'm going to roll to see what happens. Let's see. There we are. The same thing, crawl under something. So I'm going to use the opportunity to go into a new square. I'm going to go into either D1, C1, or C2. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to determine where I'm going. I rolled a 6, so I'm going into this room, into this square here, C2, which to me looks like is a rug. A rug. This is a rug with a fringed border woven from many colorful fabric scraps. It lies on the floor. The rug has an uneven texture. There are colorful light reflections that shine onto the rug. A single sock lies half under the rug. We're trying to get underneath this rug. Pepe is getting underneath this rug. Pepe succeeds in getting underneath this rug. So this rug is completely moved from where it was originally placed. The rug is all crinkled and pushed upwards, and there's only the back half of Pepe's hindquarters and the stubby tail just kind of flicking out. It's dark. We like that. Pepe likes that. It's dark in here. It's dry. Something is pressing down on Pepe. Pepe liked being squished, not by little Aida, but by his human. So I think Pepe enjoys this. Let's see what Pepe else can do. All right. You're acting as the cat. You're underneath a rug. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip something over. Is there something to tip over in this space that I am in right now? There's a sock. While we're underneath and just sort of scooting around this rug, there's that one sock. Human, you just moved in here. You already have a sock underneath. No judgment, no judgment. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people. The sock gets pushed out from underneath the rug. So now there's a cat's back quarters in one side of the rug, and the tip of a paw outstretched the other side of the rug on a sock. We're going to bap the sock. Meow. Thank you, Doc. And the sock has been overturned. Like society should be overturned. Someone redeemed a meow, so I meowed. All right, let's go into a square. I will select if D1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's roll. I rolled a 3, so that will be C1. C1 is the wardrobe. I was like, is that a closet? The wardrobe. That's what it is. A large, almost ceiling-high wooden wardrobe with its door open a crack. Inside are multiple shelves with folded clothes and a rail with clothes hanging from it. Ooh. Details. An empty clothes hanger dangles from the door handle. The inside smells like fresh laundry. One of the items of clothing sparkles. All right. Let's see what happens. What Pepe does. I rolled a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jump onto something. The door was open a bit, so we're going to jump into the wardrobe. That, what, less than 10 centimeter space? Pepe can get into it. Was Pepe a chunky cat? No, I think Pepe was a normal size weighted cat for his type. Wasn't particularly overfed, if you know what I mean, right? All right, we're in. We hopped in. Possible consequences. I'm gonna roll. So I have a d4. And there are 4 possible consequences. I've rolled a 2. The clothes hanger makes an interesting sound. So Pepe hops into the wardrobe, and the clothes, like lower hanging things like pants, sort of move. And let's say human just moved in. They upgraded. They finally got a full set of they finally got a full matching set of intentional wooden hangers instead of sort of the mishmash you collect over the years. And so they sort of clack, 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 clack as Pepe hops in. This is also nice. It smells okay. It doesn't smell of human as much though, because it's freshly laundered. We are absolutely shedding in here. We are shedding a lot. So Pepe's probably like walking within this mostly enclosed space. So anything that's hanging low is now covered in gray and black fur. You're welcome, human. Yeah. All right, let's move. I'm going to roll to either go out of the room or into D1. So odds D1, even out of the room. Even out of the room, I rolled a 6. Cool. What's this? Oh, it looks like to me a bathroom. We've entered a new room. Does Pepe have zoomies? To remind myself what zoomies can mean. A cat can also decide to get zoomies and bolts from the room. Okay. I am going to roll a d20. If I roll above a 15, I will have zoomies. So actually it's a d10, but let's see. Because I like the idea of zoomies, but I'm curious to explore the room. But I still like that chance that I may not explore the room at this moment. That's what I like about TTRPGs. I like when some of the decision making is made for you by luck. To me, that's an integral part of the games I like playing. I rolled a 15. So is that above a 15, right? Because then we 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. So I get to stay in the room. I don't have zoomies, rather. Okay. I'm in B2. This is the toilet. This is a toilet square. A roll of soft paper hangs from the wall. Next to it is a big white ceramic chair with a plastic box behind it. Curious. This is where human spends a lot of time. This is where also Pepe probably comes and guards human, where you're spending a lot of time here. And Pepe makes sure to stare at human quite a lot, at least in the last place. This will be where a lot of staring is done. Cool. Some details. A disinfectant dispenser sits on the toilet tank. Toilet paper hangs almost to the floor. The toilet lid has a fish pattern. That's new. Pepe hasn't seen that before. The last one was very plain and white. Does this mean Pepe's getting more fish? Does this mean Pepe's going to the vet? We don't like that. But we like fish. Okay. Acting as cat. Dice, tell me, what does Pepe do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hiss at something. These are fish. Maybe one of them is looking funny. Maybe one of them has their eyes painted on a bit too, realistically. Like big, wide open, beady eyes. And from my limited understanding of cats is that they feel very safe when their eyes close or very lidded, or you blink slowly. That's what the internet and cat owners and people say that cats are do when they feel safe and happy. This fish isn't blinking. This fish is staring, big pupil. So Pepe hisses at it. Bat. Those fish aren't moving in response to the hissing. How dare. We should scratch that. We should totally scratch that. We're going to think about scratching it. I'm going to do one more action. What is this cat doing? That is a 3. 1, 2, 3, nudge something. You're going to nudge the toilet lid. Bap, nudge, bap, nudge. Maybe the human didn't affix the toilet seat properly the whole way. I know because I am guilty of this. I have one toilet seat in my house that isn't properly affixed. I'm just too lazy to properly fasten it down. So if you nudge it, it actually sort of shifts off the supports. That happens here. Human Aida. You should really fasten that toilet seat properly because you're going to slide off it next time you're sitting down in a hurry. So we have a fish toilet lid that is sort of slightly off its hinge. It's off center now. The fish deserved it. The fish absolutely deserved it. All right, I'm going to roll to see what square I go to. B1, A1, A2. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I roll a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop! I'm in square A1. That's a bathtub. Ooh. The description in the PDF goes, a large white tub made from cool, smooth material. On its edge sit intensely scented bottles. A fluffy mat lies on the floor in front of it. Oh, that's nice. All right, let's see what Pepe does. I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip something over. Yeah, I was hoping for this one because that's what I associate with cats. That's all the cats I know, tipping over something. Those nice smelling bottles. Knock. Knock over. There's a large clattering sound. And I think more than one of them probably fall into this bathtub. That noise is a little scary. You've taken showers and baths. Have you ever had all your things just clatter into the tub or into the floor? That's loud. I'm gonna roll if Pepe has zoomies or not. If Pepe has zoomies, Pepe will go into the next adjacent room, which will be the hallway to the south of him. So I'm going to roll my d6. Odds, zoomies, evens, no zoomies. I rolled a 4, so that is no zoomies. This sound does startle Pepe for a bit. Okay. What else can we do here? Randomly decide. Oh, I rolled a 4 again, which is also to tip something over. Tip something over. Based on the illustration, I am going to project that there is the shower head on a long nozzle that is already down in the tub rather than affixed to the wall where some might be, right? So Pepe is now going to hop into the bathtub where all the assorted nice smelling bottles are, those plastic things. They smell nice, but Pepe knows from licking them before, probably should not lick them again. That didn't taste good. But there's this shiny metal thing. And we're going to nudge it over. No, it's on the lip of the bathtub. And we're going to knock that over. Knock. And it will have fallen outside the bathtub. So now the metal piping is stretched more taut. And there's this clang on the ground, which hits the fluffy metal, which hits the fluffy mat in front of. So thank goodness, less of a bang. Does the water turn on from this? No, I'll say not. We already made a mess in the other room. Okay. Let's go to another square. I'll decide B1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it like that. Roll my D4. Roll a 4. Pippa leaves the bathtub for now with the shower nozzle dangling outside the tub with the shampoo and soap bottles clattered inside. And we're in A2. All right, this is the bathroom sink. A white basin protrudes from the wall. Next to it, a striped towel hangs over a rack. Details offered. The faucet drips. Bad human, bad. A soap dish sits on the edge. An open toothpaste tube sits on the edge. Bad human, bad. All right. What do cat? 4. I rolled another 4. I get to tip something over. This makes me happy. Oh, we get what we're knocking over. The toothpaste tube. It's on the edge. It's right there. All Pepe has to do is just sort of stretch up. Teeny tiny paws just pull, pull, pull. The toothpaste tube is dangling over the edge. And all you gotta do is pop it off, and it falls down and folds onto itself as it lands. Yeah. Some has come out of the tube, of the toothpaste tube. Sort of hanging precipitously in the air. Will it fall down into the ground or not, but just sort of hanging there? Human, you should put away your... It's not that the toothpaste tube wasn't put away, it's that it's open. As a human, bad human. bad human. One more thing for the cat in this square. I rolled a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jump onto something. Okay. We are jumping up onto the sink itself. Where the toothpaste tube was is no longer there. It's on the floor because bad human. That's where it gets now. We mentioned that the faucet was dripping. So Pepe is going to take a drink. Pepe is going to extend little gray and white black paw underneath the drips of the water and catch every drip and blem it. Yeah, that's nice. This is nice. This water is much better than the other water. This water is way less wet than the other water. Pepe will now demand from human that the only water they will drink will be drip drip from this faucet and no other water. Nope. So from here, drip by drip. No other water is allowed. No. Sorry, human, not sorry, human. Okay. I'm gonna move a square. Odds to B1, evens to A3. Odds, I rolled a 1 to B1. We're spending a lot of time in this room. It's exciting. It's okay. Looks like a washing machine. It's a washing machine. All right. The washing machine with a transparent door opens, revealing a metal cave. Next to it sits a wicker basket full of worn clothes and a sock hanging from it. Some details offered. A washcloth sits in the washing machine. A dosing ball for laundry detergent sits on top of the washing machine. Ooh. The laundry is loose enough to dig through. Ooh. Okay. Cat, what are we doing? I rolled an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 per. Am I counting right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. This smells nice. Per. You're not getting more from me. Nope. All right, we've heard. Let's do something else, cat. 10. So that was 8, 9, 10. Jump onto something. We're going to jump into the wicker basket. Boop. And a possible consequence that is suggested is the laundry smells like cat's humans. Yeah, if you get past like any other soapy scents, this smells like human. Not stinky feet human, but like more human. The other parts of the human that Pepe probably likes to snuggle on more. Because those feet are stinky. IRL, I remember cousin, uncle's feet smell just like, ooh. This is nice though. It's soft. Is this freshly laundered? Who knows? It's now covered in cat hair. It is absolutely now covered in cat hair. All right. Let's move on to the hallway. This space here, this sort of narrow corridor where I've moved my kitty cat. And let's see if Pepe has zoomies. What am I rolling? I want a chance to have zoomies. I don't necessarily just want straight up zoomies. All right. If I roll a 1 or a 2, it's zoomies. 3, 4, 5, 6, no zoomies. That's a 5, no zoomies. Okay. We are in 3A. 3A, A3. Zoomies denied? Yes, in this point, zoomies are denied. This place looks familiar or smells familiar. That right there is a litter box. A smooth plastic tub with semi-transparent domed lid. A swinging flap leads to the interior, which is filled with tiny, rough gray pebbles. This is familiar. It smells a bit different. Human probably cleaned it before the move, before coming in here. But yeah, we know these three walls. We are intimately familiar with these three walls. A small shovel leans on the wall next to it. Inside, the light is dimmer. Yes, this is the good cave. An unframed poster hangs above it. Okay. Cat, what you do? I'm gonna roll for randomness. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nibble on or eat something. I'm making a face, I'm making a face, I'm making a face. Possible consequences for this space could include pebbles stick to paws, the flap squeaks, pebbles fall into the floor outside. The poster detaches from the wall. Yeah, human freshly moved in here. This poster probably should be framed, but at the moment it's sort of just kept together with like leftover masking tape, because I'm sure there were a lot of tape. There were a lot of boxes being untaped during the move, and there was some leftover tape. So human decided to just sort of like loop it around and stick it to the wall until a more permanent solution is found. And yeah, this poster just so happens to fall, which probably startles Pepe. Thus, the response would be to bite it. Bite this poster. Hang. Hang. This poster is now perforated. It's been notarized, essentially, with Pepe's teeth marks. I think the poster looks better now. The poster looks better now. All right. I'm going to move a square down to A4. Recycling paper. 2 boxes full of different kinds of paper and cardboard. Some details offered. Some pieces of paper are scrunched into balls. Some pieces of paper smell faintly of food. A bulging paper bag stands on one of the boxes. Okay. Cat, what are we doing? I rolled a 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Roll in something. Those boxes smelling of food. That smells nice. Let's hop in. We're hopping into the bin of recycling of assorted cardboard and paper. We are rolling to find the nice smell and keep that nice smell. We are rolling. Things are flying everywhere. More hair is getting attached everywhere. We like it this way, I assume. All right. What else are we doing here? Oh, possible consequences. Cat gets stuck in box. Cardboard is great for claw sharpening. A boxer back falls over. A paper ball rolls away. A paper ball rolls away. Oh. Is that prey? Is that food? Is that toy? Is that food? One more action for Pepe. Roll. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Rolling something. No, we're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling. Things just flying everywhere. Cardboard tube, papers, old receipts. It's just scattered all over this square. And so is Pepe's cat hair. Yeah. All right. I'm going to roll to see whether we go down to A5 or to the right to B4. So odds B4, evens A5. I rolled a 5, that's odd, so we're going to go into this room. I gave Pepe zoomies last time, so we're going to explore this room properly now. We are in B4. This is a sofa. The back of a sofa, a sofa. A corduroy covered landscape of cushions and pillows piles up. Between its feet is a low, dark place. Details. One pillow has a satin cover. A coin is stuck between the sofa cushions. Dust bunnies under the sofa. Human, you just moved in here. Okay. Cat, what are we doing? I rolled a 2. Sniff something. Sniff something. What are we sniffing? We are sniffing. We're going to hop onto the couch. We're going to sniff corduroy. Let's say this is new. Human's last one was not corduroy. Human's last one was a sort of linen-ish fabric that Pepe has spent a lot of time scratching through. So much work has been done. This one clearly is lacking a lot of work. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Has that plasticky, straight from the warehouse kind of smell. It doesn't smell of human as much. The pillows still smell of humans, though. Pillows definitely do. We remember these pillows. Yep, that corner is right. There are more little cat teeth perforations in that corner. Oh, yeah. We remember this corner. We remember making a soggy, wet mess of that corner. Yeah. One more action. Is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hiss at something. What are we hissing at? I'm going to jump off the sofa. And as we land, a little bit of air gets moved this place, which moves a dust bunny. This sudden movement makes Pepe hiss. It's not moving anymore. The hiss worked, it scared it off. Pepe is clearly dominant here. Clearly, there is no further challenge. Pepe has established authority. It's exactly how this works, right? All right, I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to see where I go next. I rolled a 2, and that'll be square B3. And that'll be square B3. That's the television square. A large, matte black rectangle hangs on the wall. Below is a wooden cabinet with small green and red lights blinking from its shelf. One side is closed with a hinged door. Some offered details. A cable runs from the screen into a hole in the cabinet. A remote control sits on top of the cabinet. Behind the door are lots of DVDs. Human collected DVDs. IRL Human also collected a lot of DVDs. Then again, I remember this because back then DVDs were still a thing. I am not a young person anymore. All right, Cat, what are we doing? 1. Take a closer look at something. We are going to take a closer look at the TV. We are going to put our little head on top of the cabinet and sort of shimmy it further. And there are no switches and we're just intently looking. I'm going to say that this TV is particularly finicky, sensitive. So the sensor that picks up remote control Maybe it gets a reflection from the cat's eye, from Pepe's eyes. And puck, it turns on. It turns on to static. If human just moved in here, maybe they don't have their cable channels, the hookup correct. So there's static, and you can't really make out anything. Maybe there's another human behind it, but just like black and white noise. How strange. But when human is like sitting and watching the big box, they don't seem to move. They don't seem to be alarmed. They don't seem to emote. So I think Pepe also was like, if human isn't moved by the box, then I don't have to move by the box. Human just going to probably just like sit here for hours again. Human did that. All right. I'm going to roll odds or evens for square C3 and C4. So odds C3, evens C4. I rolled a 4, so that's evens. We are at C4. Is that C4? Yes, that's C4. All right, that's a coffee table. A low table with stacks of colorful paper booklets. There's also a basket with knitting needles sticking out from it. Ooh. The basket holds multiple balls of yarn. Some paper rustles when the cat steps onto it. Short pieces of yarn line the table. I feel very atted for this because my coffee table is currently filled with multiple balls of yarn and short pieces of yarn. It truly, genuinely is. All right, cat, what are we doing? I'm going to roll to randomly determine what my cat is doing. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Shed onto something. Oh, yeah. We are hopping onto this coffee table and we are shedding all over these balls of yarn. There's assorted yarns here. There's acrylic yarn, woolen yarn, bamboo yarn, nice various colors. Some are more cottony, some are more fuzzy. Some even have, like one ball even has like the metallic foil looped through it. But now all of them have a lovely, lovely sheen of gray, black, and white hair on it. Yes. One more thing. I rolled an 18. This is just the last option. So we're going to sit here and we're going to clean ourselves in the middle of the table, surrounded by the balls of yarn and short strands of yarn. We're going to gracefully lift a foot, aerate the unspeakable areas. Emblem, emblem, emblem. These poor yarn balls, if only they had mouths. But alas, they cannot scream. All right. Let's see. All right. One more square. One more square, because I'm also looking at the time a little bit. I should drink some water. Ooh. And also, friends, just a quick reminder, I won't be streaming for that much longer, but I do have some chat rewards here on Twitch if you're watching through Twitch. If you happen to have a mountain of chat points and you want to use them to make Ida do cat-like things, you may do so. Limited time offer. Be responsible. All right. I will select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled a 2, so we're going to the square right north of us, which is C3. That's a bookshelf with things on the floor. Human. And when I say human, that's Aida talking to this imaginary human or my cousin slash uncle. Bookshelf. A tall shelf with lots of books reaches almost to the ceiling. Ooh. A few books are spread out on the floor in front of it. Some details. A ribbon page marker pokes out from a book. Open books show a cat picture. It better be of Pepe. A collectible figurine sits on a shelf. Exciting. Let's roll just to randomly determine what Pepe does. That is the highest amount, which is just clean itself. We did not finish the blemmings, so we're also going to be facing the books, the ones on the floor, and spread the other leg, expose the unmentionables, emblem, emblem, emblem. I don't know if these books and things are now imbued with some smells. I don't want to discuss that further. What else does Peppa do? 1, 2, 3. Peppa meows. Yep, that's Peppa. One more action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jump onto something. We are going to jump onto the bookshelf. Yeah. We're going to jump using the open book as a spring pad. So, paw dirty, paw clean. Pippa's paw might be still a little wet from their previous journeys. So whatever page is open now has a little bit of a wet paw print pushed back as Peppa sprung up onto the bookshelf. And there's a Funko figurine on it. And as Peppa lands next to it, the head wobbles. Do I have wobbly heads with me right now? I do. It does that. This is Rey from the Star Wars, the new movies. When did I get this? This was a gift. From whom I don't remember. Probably husband. I don't remember. All right, we have a cat in the bookshelves, unsupervised, slightly wet, shedding AF, and in a mood to clean itself. Cat, what else are you doing? Oh. Pippi meows. That's what the dice told me to do. One more thing. 11. 1, 2, it's 8, 9, 10, 11. Crawl or jump into something. We're going to crawl up one more shelf. I imagine that there is a little bit of space between the top of the books and the wooden plank that is the shelf. And Cat is liquid, Peppa is liquid, so we're going to clearly go in there. And in order to push off, at least one other book falls off the original shelf that they were on. Absolutely does. That falls on the ground. It falls pages down, cover upwards. So we don't know whether or not a page within that book was folded on the way down and is now permanently creased. Thank you, Pepe. Pepe says you're welcome. We're jumping up and we have liquefied ourselves and we are in between that space of the book and the shelf. I think this is a nice place for Pepe to relax on his adventures. And I'm going to guess if number D4 is a window, a curtain. Let's see. Curtains, floor-length curtains hang from a curtain rod in front of the large glass door. They are gathered with a twisted cord tiebacks. I'm just going to organically end the story here as Pepe finds the curtain covered window and eventually realizes how to go in front of the curtain, look out the window. And this is what Pepe also IRL did when his human was out for a long time. Would wait at the window, wait at the door, and would sort of instinctively know over time what time of day human got home. This is around that time. So Pepe goes to the door, goes to the window, because it's soon. It's going to happen soon. Pepe knows. And he waits a little bit. I'm guessing the scenery is very different than what Pepe is used to. There would normally be a lot of things distracting because it's very new. But because everything is so new, I think it's important for Pepe to be especially vigilant for human. Because after so much exploring and new stuff, we need some stability, we need some familiarity, and we need human. So it's only minutes until humans until their human comes closer and can be seen from a distance from the window. I think human would be equally relieved to see Pepe, having now found the window, and also being treated to a familiar sight amongst a lot of new things. His cat waiting in the window. And human gets to the front door, and the somewhat new but also familiar sounds of the locks unclicking reverberates. And I think Pepe now knows to go to the front door where those stinky shoes were, and knows that when the door opens, human will be on the other side. And the door does open, and Pepe immediately starts bumping human's leg. And this is something IRL Pepe also did until human picked him up and just squished him. And I think that's how I would organically end my little playthrough of Catcrawl. The end of the game specifies cat describes how it settles down comfortably. And this would be carried by human to the couch, to the sofa. And I think you just spend a bit of time cuddling together because they're finding familiarity with each other because this is a new place. Other players describe why this is a particularly good spot for a nap. At least when I visited, Pepe didn't nap too much. Probably was wary of me. But I think having found safety in human after a long day of exploring, this is going to be a good nap. And it's important to nap now for Pepe because napping Pepe is really, really cute. And human needs to remember Pepe's cute, adorable sleeping face before human realizes a bit of the mess that Pepe left. And Pepe is going to go, meow. You're welcome, Doc. And that's how I'm going to finish my game of Catcrawl. Thank you very much, Plotbunny Games, for sharing the game with me with Euphoria. Thank you for sending the assets over because having this sort of digital map is exceptional for managing electronics. I absolutely see how this game is an excellent way to introduce very new players. And I'm talking like children, young people, players to understand sort of structured storytelling. The game does not include a dice mechanic. It includes like discussing what the cat may do. And this is a good point I could imagine for younger players, for kids, to sort of like get excited, take initiative, and take ownership of what is happening, which would propel them maybe to play more games, more TTRPGs in the future as well. Very cozy, very vibes. I've been playing for just over an hour and 15 minutes, and I got through most of the squares in here. And I added my own dice mechanic just to sort of make it random for me. Plotbunny Games is in the chat. They also highly encourage this as a duet game, and I absolutely see this as a duet game. Um, I highly encourage that you check out Catcrawl. And in the VOD, we're going to put links where you can get the game. Absolutely support Plotbunny Games. They have other amazing games, which after the fact, they mentioned that some of the games could be adapted to solo mode, but the other games were also a group play as well. Uh, they're a wonderful game studio based in Germany, who also has that sort of queer pride up in front. And I see that in them as a game company ethos as well, especially with some of their other games that explore more directly like queer facets of self exploration, of history, of community building. And one could even extrapolate that into games like Cat Crawl, which is meant to be this very cozy, silly, uh, easy to play pickup game, because there's also a sense of exploration, newfoundness, and testing your own boundaries. But in this case, you're a cat, and it's okay too. So, absolutely check them out and be sure to support all queer TTRPG creatives, not just during Pride Month. That includes talking about the games you've played from them, specifically mentioning them on your socials, tagging them in your social, so that other people can organically hear about those games. This means if you have the means to buy the games, spend money for the games. A lot of these queer creatives also have community copies and free versions on sites like itch.io, in bundles like on DriveThruRPG, etc. Um, for any reason, if you want to take advantage of a community copy because they're there to be taken advantage of, leave a review. You got the game for free, and if you played it, leave them a review because, again, this helps that creative back as well, and it encourages other people to play the game, maybe buy the game as well. So you're also doing them a solid. And otherwise, just let them know how much fun you had. Plotbunny Games, Jasmin and Andrea, I had a lot of fun. This was cute. This was relaxing. It's been a really busy week for me, busy month. The temperature has been like ridiculously high, which is why we rescheduled this. And I feel relaxed and recharged. I feel cute. So, very thank you so much for the opportunity to play this game. If you are not following Euphoria, please take a moment to follow us on all our socials. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can also use that to subscribe to the channel free of cost to you if you haven't already done so. We also have a Patreon where we provide a lot more behind the scene content, outtakes. Patreons get first, they get to see coming soon promo graphics before anyone else does. So it's a bit exciting. You get the news first and foremost. And supporting us on Patreon also helps us cover costs of running the channel. It helps us um, every now and then be able to financially pay some of our supporters as well, because labor does come at a cost too. So we do what we can to support, but if you have some extra change in your sofa cushions, consider sending that our way. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of Pride, and I don't just mean the limited hours left in the month of June, but all year round. Ensure that your tables, especially your actual play tables, your tables made for public viewing content, have diverse representation. That includes queer representation, POC representation, marginalized gender representation. These things really, really matter 365 days of the year. I've been Aida. Thank you for watching and supporting Euphoria, and I'll see you around. Bye, bye, bye. Meow, meow, meow.